Oh man, Pizza Tower's back! You know what this means? I gotta get all my games! I swear that I'm perfectly normal. Pizza Tower is a pretty cool indie game that's full of fast-paced, action-packed collectibles. But a lot of people, particularly a certain company, doesn't seem to really understand the importance of its origins. For example, the super jump Peppino can do looks an awful like the shine spark Samus can do in the Metroid series. The speedrunning feel of the Metroid games just also feels perfect for Pizza Tower. I mean, there is literally an escape sequence in both games. I heard something about Rayman also being inspiration, and that's literally Duke Nukem. Oh yeah, did I mention the main dev of PT also likes Doom? He likes Doom if you couldn't tell. And yeah, another obvious one is Sonic. I mean, the game was literally shown in Sage 2019. For those of you who are broke, you can actually go over to the website right now and still get a demo of Pizza Tower. Sure, it's an early version of the game, but hey, it's got Snick in it! Who the heck is Snick? Well, I don't think you want to find out. Alright, we've hum-hauled enough around the actual important subject that we've all been waiting for. Super Mario Land 2. Wait, let me explain. So the Super Mario Land series is actually the beginning of another series that goes hand in hand, the Wario Land series. They're technically one and the same. I say that because Wario first appeared in Super Mario Land 2 6 Golden Coins. And wow, what an awful, but I'm not going to insult the title further, name for a game. See, Wario took over Mario's private island while he was off doing hero shiz, and then the green bastard hypnotized all the locals. This is probably the most badass and disturbing lore for a Nintendo game, and it's a shame that they don't do anything like this anymore again. I actually didn't even know Wario was in the game for a whole 20 years until I looked up a walkthrough on the internet of games I never was able to beat as a child, and saw that my favorite character of all time in gaming history was the final freaking boss of the first game I ever played in my life. The reason why I'm making such a big deal about Mario Land 2 is not only because Wario first appeared in this game, but the original lore of Pizza Tower actually had a Mario and Wario type deal with the character Pizza Boy, in which he starred in his own game Pizza Boy Tower, which, surprise surprise, had Peppino as the antagonist. Okay, so now we're finally getting to Wario Land now, right? Yeah, we are. Alright, so Wario Land, Super Mario Land 3, Super Mario Land 3 Wario Land. The game that obviously takes place after Mario Land 2, or once Wario gets his butt handed to him by Mario, instead of living up to the definition of insanity and letting that happen to him again, he goes out on an adventure to get a castle of his own. Does this mean character growth in my Nintendo game? See, this is why he's my favorite video game character. Wario plays a lot differently from Mario, and is actually a bit slower, taking his time pile driving his foes into oblivion with his shoulder bash, something that Peppino obviously was inspired by. This game also requires you to pay money at the end of each level in order to actually beat them, which Pizza Tower had something like this similar in very early development. The next Wario game, Wario Land Wario Land, was originally called Wario Cruise for some odd reason, and is basically the sequel to the original Wario Land that had a neat to and fro background and foreground mechanic. But as far as I can tell, this one went overlooked to Pizza Tower's inspiration, and that's completely fair since it's trapped in a failure of a game console. But don't worry, I still love you. Next is the oddly named Wario Land 2, even though this is the third game in the franchise. It's almost as if Nintendo wanted this system to fail. Wario Land 2 is a lot different from its previous installment. Wario gets hit, instead of dying, he bounces back. The man is invincible. Some enemies even help the man transform. Both these mechanics were used obviously in the hit Pizza Tower game, and some of the transformations look near identical to what you see here in Wario Land 2. Wario Land 3 is pretty much more of Wario Land 2, except it's a lot bigger. Probably the biggest inspiration for Peppino is actually his look and design from these games. Wario's sprite for some odd reason looks like this in these games. It's probably due to the limitations of the Game Boy, but hey, it's certainly made for a stylish Italiano. Next is the ultimate classic game on the Game Boy Advance, Wario Land 4. And it's for many, their favorite Wario Land game. It's basically everything that was done in the previous Wario Land games, but with added refinement. In fact, it left such an impression that the main dev Pizza Tower guy, or McPig, originally had a health system for Peppino in the early version, which is something new here in Wario Land 4. Here, Wario needs to go around every sprawling level, which has gorgeous environments, by the way, to collect these pieces in order to unlock the boss door at the end of every world. He also needs to get this key-looking creature to unlock the next level. Oh wait, what's this weird-looking frog thing do? I'm never pressing that again. If you couldn't tell already, a lot of aspects from this game are incorporated in Pizza Tower, such as the collectibles in each level giving you the ability to unlock the world's boss, the vast variety of environments for each level, the music, which there is a lot to cover, so I'm only going to play a little bit to you. And then, of course, the escape sequence. The iconic Pizza Tower Tekken Pizza Time escape sequence is all thanks to this little game right here. There's actually more Wario games out there, such as Wario's first and only 3D platformer, Wario World, made by Treasure. You know, that company that's made out of ex-Konami employees, and everyone says can do no wrong. Wario World is a neat 3D platformer that I won't talk too much about, but the pile drive move Peppino does may or may not have been inspired by Wario in these games. There's also Master Disguise, which, yeah, we aren't touching that one. Finally, there is Wario Land Shake It, the most recent entry in the series, as in it's been nearly 20 heckin' years since we've gotten an installment in the franchise. No wonder Pizza Tower was made, I'm glad it was. Wario Land Shake It is basically more Wario Land 4, but there are a few changes added like motion controls or high-budget cutscenes. This one is generally considered to be not so great according to McPig. In fact, he hates the game so much so that when I rated his Twitch stream and said Wario Land Shake It best game in his chat, he turned off raids entirely from his streams. Now that is some serious hate for this game. I think Shake It is a fine game and gets too easily thrown to the pile of, it's got motion controls, I don't want anything to do with this. It's still a solid platformer with Wario Land platforming things to do, just it's too overly ambitious. I mean, the devs literally wanted this game to be the best platform of all time. And you think that was enough to show how arrogant they are. But no, there was this insane marketing campaign in the old days of YouTube where Wario literally destroyed the website while you were watching the trailer for this game. Now that's pretty cool. Sadly, this is once again the last installment we've seen in the Wario Land series, and it's honestly too bad since Wario has now just become a shill for micro games in Nintendo, and most of the Wario Land games aren't even readily available. I mean, you think it's bad being a Metroid fan, but guys, Wario Land fans have it way worse. You can literally play most of your series of games, but Wario Land games? Oh hey, how about Wario Land 3 on NSO, and that's it! And why only that game? Is it because it's the longest in the series and only on the Game Boy Color? I guess that makes more sense now that I mention it. Where the heck is the OG, 2, 4, heck even VB Wario Land? I'm sure we'll get most of these eventually, but it's unlikely we'll ever get to see all of these available officially on one console. And it's a shame too, since with Pizza Tower now readily available on the Switch, the ultimate Wario Land dream could have been achieved for all to see. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Make sure to check out more videos on the screen. Don't forget to follow my socials, and bye guys, bye. Don't forget to subscribe. Okay, bye.